This video was made possible by sponsors like you. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon.
Okay, creep, I do not have time for
Like Scoob, we're really in for it now!
Oh my god!
Hiya Toonies, I'm WHYBOY and this is Nero.
Hey.
Today we're talking about Scooby-Doo. We would have waited on this until after the cinematic return of Mystery Inc. with Scoob.
But due to events we can't name, because, YouTube is a platform that is pro-censorship to anything that could be controversial. So instead, we'll take a dive into some of the fan-made Scooby-Doo stuff.
We know from past experiences that Warner Bros. Has little respect for Scooby in the game, but there are plenty of devoted fans who've created love letters to this 50-year-long standing franchise, giving Scooby Mystery Inc. far more respect than Warner Bros. Ever did.
This will be a list of fan projects of all types, from short films to games that'll show that there is a great deal of love for Scooby-Doo.
So without further ado, this is 10 Scooby-Doo fan projects you must see.
Scoobynatural. Some may consider this cheating because it's technically official, but if we're being real here, it certainly feels like a fanfic that's been brought to life. What if Mystery Inc. crossed over with the monster hunting brothers Sam and Dean from Supernatural? You'd think it'd be a creatively bankrupt idea, but instead you get a campy, nonsensical romp. The writers take the plot of the 1970s episode, A Night of Fright is No Delight, and add buckets of blood, dismemberment, and denial, as the writing also experiments with the notion of children's show characters not even understanding the concept of death. In essence, it's like a competent take on what James Gunn did with those live-action movies. But where those came off cynical, Scoobynatural instead delights in self-awareness. Although it does feel a little unsatisfying with the main focus on Sam and Dean instead of collaborating with Mystery Inc., who are more or less just special guests for the episode. Still overall, the novelty of Mystery Inc. having to deal with actual horror still makes this crossover a gory good time.
Scooby-Doo Abridged. By 2020, the concept of an abridged series has become a huge subsection of the internet community. From Team 4 started leading the way with Dragon Ball Z Abridged or Grimjack and their parody approach to Goblin Slayer, so finding one on Scooby was a delightful surprise. And though the lip syncing is very off in most episodes, the comedic timing and clever subversion of the Scooby tropes makes for a really funny watch. Along with classic Scooby episodes, Binary Failure has even begun abridging the Scooby-Doo movies. So if you're up for a lighthearted roasting of Scooby-Doo, head over and give Scooby Abridged a watch.
Scoob Wars. We get classic scenes from Star Wars being remade with the Scooby Gang. Boy, it's too bad Disney owns Star Wars, otherwise this seems like an easily profitable collaboration between the two if they could get their collective butts out of their ears. Heck, we had Scooby-Doo stuff back in Star Wars and Clone Wars, but that was a long time ago. These shorts are just nonsensical lore and filled to the brim with references, though the designs are rather cute. Just look at Scooby. The idea of Darth Scooby is so toyetic, you could see Funko Pops of that crap, and people would pay out the butt for something like this. Just look how stupid cute it is. Yonder Productions brings a delightful silly Scooby parody that you should take a look at. And besides, let's all be a little real here. At this point, anything beats Disney Star Wars.
LEGO Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. We have seen LEGO and Scooby-Doo mix a number of times in movies and specials, but leave it to a fan to write, edit, and produce a full LEGO stop-motion Scooby-Doo series. It's rather impressive given the amount of detail that has been placed into this series to make it feel like an episode of Scooby-Doo. The story pacing, the character interaction, and mystery writing brings nostalgic ways of the original show back, while acted out through LEGOs. It's like a throwback cross-fusion between Rankin Bass and Hanna-Barbera's classic Scooby-Doo. What's not to love about that?
Mystery Incorporated. This Mystery Incorporated is heavily inspired by shows like Riverdale, Sabrina, and basically every CW show that works with the concept of it's not your parents' version of whatever it is we've taken and run through the melodrama blender. While not fully out yet, Kick to Kick, the team behind this, has set up an Indiegogo to fund this project. They've put a good foot forward in their trailer, showing a cheesy assortment of monsters, a brilliant sense of cinematography, and a very apparent love for Scooby-Doo. Shows like Riverdale is a special type of show that that is, it goes dark with its themes and story, and yet it paradoxically becomes more hilarious to watch it flounder in its melodrama. But in Mystery Inc.'s case, it actually has a better ability to play to its comedic strength, as Scooby is already well known for subverting those sorts of horror and melodramatic writings to make it funny. At the time of this recording, Mystery Inc. has finished with its Indiegogo campaign and has made a promise that even if they haven't reached full funding, they'll use every dollar to make this a reality. And really, this looks like a genuine high-quality live-action Scooby-Doo. Even more so than the last time Warner Brothers did a live-action Scooby-Doo.
Shaggy Ball Z. Remember that time where Ultra Instinct Shaggy was a huge meme? Well, this is a love letter to that beautiful meme, with an almost shot-for-shot reimagining of the classic DBZ intro, just with Scooby characters. This was animated by Liam McKeown, who also led animation for MASH on videos like One Jump Man, Mega Dorito Battle, Samurai Witcher, and many others. All this work demonstrates his passion-fueled, impact-driven animation and direction, making the motion and follow-through movement in each video feel like there is weight behind it. It's what gives Shaggy Ball Z the impactful hits, dynamic action, and just another reason why Ultra Instinct Shaggy was such a fun meme. Really, it's disappointing WB never decided to lean into the meme and let the Be Cool writers do a movie that indulges in anime awareness humor. But we still got Shaggy Ball Z, and it's still awesome all on its own.
Scooby Horror Remastered. Taking a page from Slender Man, Scooby Horror has you running through the woods from classic Scooby monsters. The simple look and style of the game is quite inviting. We did have some trouble grasping what to do as the game was less explanatory and more trial by fire. This is fine, but a bit frustrating. The enemy random generation seemed to make the game more difficult than it really needed to be because the monsters should have just resided in areas and then you had to avoid them instead of just popping up. Plus, once you're in their line of sight, there's nothing you can really do to escape. So you may as well just let them snatch you. In the remastered version, you had 3 Captain Cutlers at any time, and that felt sort of lame when there are plenty of iconic Scooby baddies to choose from. We even made a list of the top 10 best Scooby monsters, and any one of them would make a good addition in a patch. That said, the mechanics are laid out pretty simple. You walk about, get a flashlight, you avoid detection, and that's really it. It's a game that really inspires us to want to see more games, and does show that the Scooby franchise is pretty flexible in what it can do. There's a love of Scooby and real imagination to take that love into any direction you wish. My one bit of advice playing Scooby Horror is simple. Get the Scooby snacks. That speed boost really does help outrun the Captain Cutler triplets.
Scooby-Doo Apocalypse, the motion comic. For those unaware, in 2016, WB and DC relaunched their Hanna-Barbera properties in comic form. These were more adult versions of the classic properties, like Wacky Racers being Mad Max, and in the case of Scooby-Doo, being a post-apocalypse horror. The plot is basically what if Scooby-Doo was Resident Evil. In universe, the game has to deal with a nanite virus that has mutated the entire world into monsters, and they need to find a cure. While I can't credit the creator for making Scooby Apocalypse, it is a great feat of effort to bring a cast together and edit Scooby-Doo Apocalypse into an engaging motion comic. At the time of the video's posting, Joey Surlis and his team are up to issue 4 of a 36-issue long series. If you want to enjoy Scooby Apocalypse and give me a shouldn't be leaving your house for safety, then curl up with your phone, laptop, or whatever, and enjoy a fully voiced Scooby mutant fighting story performed for you.
Scooby-Doo on Friday the 13th. Classic horror icon Jason Voorhees mixes it up with Mystery Inc. Frankly, why hasn't this happened sooner? This seems like such a fun prospect. And don't tell me, oh, it's too adult for him to be in a kid's show. Well, RoboCop had a kid's show, for crying out loud. You could just simplify Jason, make him somebody spooky. This project has been teased from Saha Studios and exhibits some fitting character designs that feel in canon to what we expect from Scooby-Doo. And to mix such fitting visuals and immerse the Scooby franchise into a classic horror setting of Camp Crystal Lake, it just leaves me wanting to see more and wonders how far this can go. Let's hope all goes well, we get a sequel, then if possible, let's take this to Elm Street.
And finally, Scooby-Doo, the Backstage Rage. A fan retelling of the classic episode from Where Are You, Scooby-Doo? Featuring more loving callbacks to classic characters, more experimental writing, and some voices you might recognize. Me and Nero.
Whatever. Just go over there while I get the supplies.
Crap! We were terrible. But Backstage Rage is anything but terrible. It's a wonderful fan movie using the backbone of the original episode to create a greater supernatural backdrop to everything. While in terms of animation and audio, there is a stilted nature, leading to long drawn-out pauses,
Plus, voice direction for some actors can be worked on.
There you are, old Ricky.
However, we can still appreciate how much love and care went into making a movie where the gang has chemistry and faces more permanent perils that fall outside the status quo. While there are limitations that clearly show from just being a one-man doing everything project, Jordan, the project manager, shows a passion project that can lead to further potential and improvement.
Oh my god!
And those were 10 Scooby-Doo fan projects you must see. All in different scopes and media, but all showing how much love everyone has for this adorably dopey mutt.
Now please be sure to support these creators, especially if you love Scooby-Doo. All links to them will be in the description below.
And comment to them ToonGrin10 to let them know who sent you there.
Until then, be sure to tune in
To ToonGrin.
Thanks for watching ToonGrin 10. If you want more content like this, comment down below with hashtag ToonGrin 10 and tell us what you'd like to see. Please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on ToonGrin content. You can support us by following ToonGrin on social media, sponsoring us on Patreon, or making a purchase from our TeePublic store. Links are in the description below, and as always, be sure to tune in to ToonGrin.